and we are learning about ergonomics. Ergonomics include the information ergonomic conditions at work, ergonomic principles, tool design and job design, and also presented. Now, some of them involve a lot of standing economics, and basically you'll find that with every given work, it can bring about the work-related diseases that we are calling the objectives of this. That by the end of it, you should be able to ergonomics can be used to improve working conditions, state some condition in the work, standing or using tools, and also state several recommended principles of job design. We'll check the learning activities that in this topic and affected. Now, ergonomics is the study and those who perform it, that is the workers. So it is the study of work in relation to the environment in which it is performed, that is the workplace, and those who perform it, that is the workers, can be designed or adapted in order to proficiency the job. One example is raising the height of a work table and down, and is called an ergonomist, and person studies the relation between the work, job design, also the working conditions. We have some points to remember here that many workers suffer from injuries and diseases that result from manual work, and the increased sure looks at the ways to make the job worker instead of forcing the worker to fit. Ergonomics can be used to improve the poor working conditions, design being built into a job if applied in a job or workstation. Principles, workers are often some common injuries will result from ergonomics because of the working workers work there, and the design of that. Often workers are given little choice, and actions can lead to serious injury to the hands, the wrist. So in particular, we do have injuries from repeated use of jackhammer, like those who do welding and tasks which perform. Also, back, head, like those who like KPLC, they're over their head and they have or pushing heavy work in construction sites. It will involve bending an issue. So we do have injuries that develop slowly, and the injuries and diseases caused by slowly over a period of months or years usually have some signs and symptoms indicating that something is wrong. For example, the worker on her job or feel aches in the or joints. After going home, she any minor muscles over a period of time, and it causes what may begin as discomfort may lead to injury or diseases. So we have here to arise in our, and we do have several examples by this, and anytime anything ending with inflammation, yeah, so we do that is sac like cavity of bone and tendon, beat elbow or frozen shoulder locations. So pain, swelling, is kneeling, pressure the elbow, repetitive shoulder movement, ascites. Then we do have carpal pressure on the nerves which pass up the wrist. The experience is that usually the person numbness in the thumb and fingers, especially at night, of the vibrating tool sometimes follows tenosynovial letter here. We do have cellular hand following bruising called the beat hand, like hammer and shovels. Have epicondylitis, an inflammation of the area where the bone tennis elbow occurs at the elbow. The pain often from strain. We do have ganglion, which is a cyst at the joint. The symptom is that there is a hard and it's because of the repetitive movement. Occurring at the joint and the growth of excess bone in the spine and other joints. The long-term of the spine and other joints would result to osteoarthritis, which is an inflammation, pain, swelling, tenderness, and redness of hand, wrist, and or the forearm. It's also as a result of repetitive movements. Sign of vitis, which is an inflammation. The signs and symptoms of this condition are aching, hand, and because of repetitive movements, often by sudden workload or by the introduction of new person or shoulder, and this the inflammation of the neck and shoulder usually is characterized pain in the neck or shoulder, having a rigid is an inflammation of tendons and or tendon sheath with or without pain, repetitive movement or too frequently. Repetitive work is common cause of musculoskeletal stress-related injuries. Is caused by repetitive work RSIs are very high. A worker may only feel aching and fatigue at the end of the work shift. However, extreme pain and weakness in the affected area of the body can progress to a point where the worker get permanent RSI, eliminating the risks from the job and also reducing the pest. There is the fact that we need or alternating tasks with non-repetitive tasks as in that work continuously. That same job that will involve option because it can cause them to occupational diseases. We have some few points about these, and we're saying that diseases forcing a worker to adapt to poorly designed work conditions, the hands, wrist, back, or other parts of the body. Force of pressure, lifting or pushing can also mention that injuries caused by poorly designed or over time. Again, we've said that work economics related injuries and diseases, including that work-related conditions are work are generally called repetitive RSIs. RSIs from developing injuries with an application in terms of pain and suffering, and also financially. Yeah, and again, economic principles in the workplace. Remember, when an employer falls sick, the employee or some few issues and when the employee falls sick, not done, and you can just be a cost that will be incurred, and is the emotional that will come with it, the pain and suffering. So we have some. It's generally most effective to examine work on a case-by-case principle to solve all problems. So sometimes even minor attachment, significant improvements in worker comfort, health, safety, economic changes. First one is that for assembly of jobs, materials do most of the work. For detailed materials, the workbench, also hand tools that cause discomfort or injury should be modified or replaced. Workers are often the best source of ideas on ways to improve a tool to make using it more comfortable. For example, depending on the need, such as reaching, bending, or hatching over the long period of be trained power lifting techniques and how often workers do a job sitting than standing. Job assignments should be rotated to minimize the amount of work spent doing a highly repetitive work requires the same muscles again and again. Then you'll find that also workers and equipment workers can perform them with their upper arms at their sides. So there are a few points to remember again here, that it's generally most effective on a case by case. You have to find out like the given situations of working. Is it more of use of repetitive? Is it more of sitting? Is it more of standing above head? You need to understand so that you, as in the design of workstations or job tasks, so you need to do it by case and then look at situations. Workers who may be affected by the before changes are made. The input can be very helpful changes. If there are those the repetitive tasks, of course, we've suggested that in the through because it can also be boring and affected that the who can be engaged in terms of job and eventually improve the work. Okay, let's look at the workstation. You'll find that a place a worker occupied job station may be occupied all the time, or some examples of are work stands or work table. A computer is operated. So our design is usually important for working conditions as well as, so every workstation should be designed with both the worker and the task in mind, so that work correct and comfortable body. So this is important and cause a variety of problems such as the back injury, SI, circulatory problems in the legs, and also the are mostly the design arrangements, the long periods, reaching too far and to get close to the work. Also, we find that work design that we've looked at, and the general rule of thumb, we need to get the body size information and adjusting workstations above the worker is very, very comfortable. Now, I do the workplaces forever, then also by some of disorders, all the disorders and injuries that are caused by link. So we've looked basically at ergonomics today, and we've defined the C of the work is a place, and the work itself, the worker, and the principles of ergonomics. We've also looked at some of the dynamics. So I do hope by now that you should be able to become working professions and giving relevant or given or once or an administrator in the work that is involved in. So that is it for